to Can You Not? Amber is once again not with us at Flake. And in her place, we have Shelby, who you may recognize from past episodes of Can You Not?
Hi.
And also from her appearance at her job, which we shall not disclose.
Nope. Guys don't need to know where I work.
It's Best Buy. I'm just kidding. But today our theme, as chosen by Brian, is holidays.
The best theme.
The best theme. And the best thing.
The most wonderful time.
Shelby, I get the feeling that Shelby does not agree that holidays are the best thing.
She's a holiday hater.
I'm not. I think the spirit of the holiday is great. But in terms of one specific holiday.
Okay.
And the real story behind it. Not so great.
We know you hate Administrative Professionals Day.
I hate it. That's the worst holiday.
But this is not a place for you to try to shove your anti-Administrative Professionals Day BS. Because I just won't stand for it.
Everybody knows about how Black Friday and Thanksgiving often conflict with each other.
Yes.
And here in Cleveland, there is a person that is very well known in the local mall scene. A guy known as Mall Guy.
What?
Who's always dressed really crazy. He always has on these belts and these like Ed Hardy t-shirts and stuff. And I thought of Mall Guy because I first saw him on Black Friday, actually, at Beechwood Mall. Oh, no, and he's like a Cleveland icon. Like, people see him everywhere. Everybody's like, who is this guy that's in this midlife crisis, and why is he dressed so crazily? And I found this article about him, and it was just like it's on Cleveland Scene. It's by a guy named Vince, and it was just like the most interesting article I've ever read in my entire life. Like, basically, so Mall Guy always wears, like I said, like the Ed Hardy t-shirts, or so you would think. And with all these like crazy sayings, like at the top of the article, it says this. It's a picture of him with a shirt on that says "The Swagalicious Life of," and then his flashy LED belt says "Mall Guy." He always has this like weird short haircut and like fancy looking jeans on and sunglasses and stuff, as you can see.
Very interesting.
Listeners cannot see, but...
So you're proposing we have a holiday around this guy?
I think we should. We should have a Mall Guy Day.
Oh, man.
But basically it talks about how he's actually... his name is Jim or Joe. I can't remember. People call him by a lot of different things.
Better be Joe.
I think it actually is Joe. But he's actually from Hungary, and he actually has like a regular job. Like, there are all these different theories about what he does. Like, people say he's like a strip club owner and that he's there like scouting new talent and stuff. God. There are theories that he's a college professor working on a thesis. But yeah.
How long has this guy been doing his thing?
Well, the article came out in 2013, and it said 10 years. So. Oh,
wow. So that'd be a long time for like a professor, I think.
Yeah. But he's like become a Cleveland icon. He's kind of like, in the article, it talks about how he would be at Shooters, and that's where he came up with the idea of wearing all these shirts that he actually makes.
Oh, wow.
He does not buy them at extra expensive places and pay Ed Hardy prices.
Does he sell these swagalicious shirts?
No, it said he does not, but he has been approached about buying them.
That's a tongue twister. Yeah. Swagalicious shirts.
Swagalicious shirts.
Shelby, were you with Brian when he saw Mall Guy?
No, I saw Mall Guy probably like 7 years ago. Pre-Shelby. Before Shelby was born. What?
Yeah, Brian's a pedophile.
No.
I'm kidding. No, when Brian first I guess, saw him or whatever. I wasn't with him. But I didn't even know that, like, I had never seen him around the mall until Brian pointed him out to me one day. I just thought, I don't know. He's usually in this one area, too, by H&M. And I don't know. I just never noticed him until Brian pointed him out. And every time we go to the mall, I see him. And he always has one of those crazy shirts on.
Yeah.
And his belt. And
but they say, like,
hats.
Every Saturday he's at South Park Mall. Like, I would usually see him at Beechwood on Fridays. They say he goes to, like... Well, he said he goes to, like, 25 Indians games a year.
Oh, my gosh.
So people see him everywhere, but they never see him in, like, regular clothes, obviously. Because he's a Cleveland icon now. He has to, like, keep up with
the image.
Yeah.
Well, Shelby, do you agree that there should be a holiday for this gentleman?
I think
I don't know if I'd say a holiday.
I think we should just have Cleveland Day. Where we celebrate all the Cleveland icons.
I like that idea.
I think that's a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cleveland icons.
But to me, it's like, I feel like Black Friday should, like, be his day. At least in Cleveland, like.
Because of malls and stuff.
Yes, malls should just have pictures of Mall Guy everywhere on Black Friday.
I mean, my favorite Cleveland icon is Super Pimp.
Yes, him and Super Pimp are friends.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh my gosh. He's on People of Walmart all the time. All the time. But it talks about how, like, he was at Shooters, and when he first had the shirt, I can't remember it. Oh, it said, his first shirt said something crazy on it that he made. And he was always at Shooters where the pimp guy is always there too. Mm-hmm. And a bachelorette party asked to take a picture with the both of them. And that's like how it got started, I guess.
Did it shatter the universe?
I guess so. It shattered Cleveland's universe.
For those who don't know, including Shelby, Super Pimp is this guy probably in his early 60s who always wears these really nice but very vibrant suits from head to toe. Yes. They're multicolored and bright and like look like they're straight out of some 70s sitcom or something. But his whole message is that he doesn't pimp women, he pimps love.
Okay. Is this him?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to meet him once and had a conversation about how optimism is not silly.
Look, here's Super Pimp and Joe Hayden.
You know who is also a great Cleveland legend who we should celebrate is Brian Clark.
I think Joe Kowalski. Koji Joe has dominated the Cleveland scene for the past who knows how long.
I mean, I've made myself...
He's already an Oberlin legend, and now he's dominating the Cleveland scene.
I did get recognized once out in public by a stranger.
I got recognized because of a Poji Joe thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was the best day of my life.
Throwback to the puppet. And One Day a Musical.
One Day a Musical, now available on DVD.
Our sponsor for today.
Our sponsor for today.
Joe Kowalski
Joe Productions. Yeah, I don't know. I like your idea about making it like a Cleveland Legends Day, or just a Cleveland in general day. I think a Cleveland Day is good for morale, especially now that we seem to be making a comeback. You know?
Right.
So it's like, it seems only fair, doesn't it?
We should just have a big parade with like LeBron, MGK, Mall Guy, Super Pimp. You know?
My gosh. That'd be great. That would be wonderful.
So when would it be?
When would it be? No.
Would it be Saturday, the day after?
If only there was a day of the week that started with C.
What about cookies? Those
Oh
start
my
with
God.
Can we rename Monday to cookies so that people will like it better?
Yes. It could be on a Monday. Because Mondays in Cleveland suck. Mondays everywhere suck. But in Cleveland, they suck even more. So let's make it on a Monday.
Mondays are not the worst day of the week because on Mondays, I can go to Pizza Pan and get a slice of pizza for $1.
Actually, no. Mondays don't suck because usually on Mondays the podcast comes out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Mondays are the best day of the week for Can You Not
the
listeners
best,
who are looking for a way to brighten their morning commute. It's Tuesdays that suck. We need to do it on a Tuesday.
Right.
Because you're not at that point yet where it's halfway through the week. You're not even close to the second half of the week.
Nope.
It's just that terrible time.
Terrible
where it's
Tuesdays.
You don't get a fresh start. I feel like I kind of like Mondays because it feels kind of like a fresh start. Like you're going in like anything could happen. It's still like fresh.
Yeah.
But Tuesdays start. It's stale. There's not that fresh feeling, and it's already like, you know.
Yeah. It's like.
Can it be Wednesday already?
Yeah. Wednesdays tend to be pretty good, but Tuesdays just
Wednesdays, you're like, it's only 2 days left.
You're right. Hump day.
And for college students, 1 day because Fridays are the great
Some
day.
college students.
Some college students.
Not all of them.
I personally do not have Friday classes.
I
So
personally do. So.
I'm so sorry.
I have Friday class.
I am so sorry for the both of you.
Well, Tuesdays aren't bad for me because I only have one class, and I don't have it until 4:30.
Okay,
So I usually have that really.
So you'll have more time to celebrate Cleveland Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday
And how would you like
it
to have
is.
no class at all on that Tuesday so that you can
That'd be
celebrate
great.
Cleveland Day?
And Cleveland State, of course, has to give us Cleveland Day off.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think we should have Moses Cleveland show up just to lead the whole thing. It could be a nice thing of him to do.
So my topic isn't as light or funny. Sorry.
Darn.
So I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, especially Facebook, about since Thanksgiving. I can't remember exactly what.
Greens, beans, potatoes.
No.
Tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Ram.
Stop.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dang, I can't remember what this. It's a native group. I can't remember what they're called, but they're
name it.
Oh my god. But it's been going on. People have been talking about the
The Dakota Pipeline? Or?
Yes, the situation with the water and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've really been seeing it mostly on this one girl's Facebook. But anyway, so basically, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it and about how they're tying it in with Thanksgiving and how there's a lot of people like saying, well, there's been a lot of like, I guess not memes, but you know those like pictures they'll have on Facebook and then they'll have like a quote or whatever on it. So it's a lot of those things, and it's talking about how like you guys people are celebrating Thanksgiving and having time with their family and everybody's having a good time, whereas this situation is happening with these Native Americans and Thanksgiving is supposed to be surrounded about the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. So how can we all be having this such great time and being like, you know, oblivious kind of to what's going on with them, and we're supposed to be celebrating a holiday that I guess started with them and the merging of the two cultures. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, first of all, I think the worst thing about the origins of Thanksgiving is not that, but the fact that Pilgrims didn't actually wear belt buckles on their hats. That was just a thing that was added over the years.
Joe put the belt buckles on the Pilgrim's hat. Don't believe the hype. Joe did it.
How dare you insinuate something I would actually do? But no, I agree. I think it does feel kind of hard to celebrate that kind of stuff when it's like, by the very nature, this country has been built off of basically taking over other people's land, killing them, and forcing them to go on the other part of the country until we force them out of that part of the country too. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty sad. I guess the way I try to look at it is like, you know, like I know people who are saying like, you know, we shouldn't be celebrating Thanksgiving. Like the roots of it are too terrible. While I agree that the roots of it are terrible, I'm a big believer in adapting flawed things, you know, and reclaiming them. And I don't think we're ever going to be able to get rid of Thanksgiving. Like this, it's just it's been around for hundreds of years now in America, and it'd be very difficult to try to like eradicate it. So there are always going to be people celebrate it. So I say like, I think as a way to reclaim it, why not be like, we completely recognize the horrific past of our country, but at the same time, don't celebrate that part. Just make it a day where we, have food and hang out with family and are grateful for things, which I think those three things are wonderful things, and I'm glad that those things exist with the holiday now. So, like, I think, at least that's the way I see it. Like, acknowledge how terrible it is and don't perpetuate that it was something good, but take the good things that came from it and make that the important thing about the holiday, not the origins of it.
I think it's very common, at least in white America, it's very common for people to ignore the bad parts about the past, and that kind of ties in with what we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks.
That's true.
That people really just want the recognition. People don't want to be the afterthought. Oh, yeah, well, we celebrated this holiday with them, and then we killed them all off. Like, how often do people ignore the fact that every July 4th we celebrate America's freedom, but black people were not free. We were not free at all.
Right.
We weren't free until how many, like 100 years later, like, or, well, more than that, actually. But, like, it's pretty easy to ignore all the bad parts about these holidays and to take them for something else, Like, how many slaves died? Like, slaves were forced to fight for America's freedom.
Right.
How many slaves died for America to be free just so that they can go back to being slaves?
Right.
How many pilgrims died? I mean, how many Native Americans died for you to celebrate Thanksgiving? You know what I mean? Like, are we thankful that those people died? Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, adapting what it means, but I don't even look at well, I mean, I do recognize what happened as far as to the Native Americans, but I don't tie that in with Thanksgiving anymore.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I was taught about, the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they were teaching each other things, but it's kind of a disconnect for me now. Thanksgiving in my family means absolutely nothing about that. Thanksgiving in my family is about spending time with family and being thankful for what we do have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what it means for most people, but I do think it is important, and I don't know that it should be a holiday, but a day of recognition for all of the terrible, terrible things that have happened to people in America like that.
But
or not even a day of recognition, but like we said about the Black History Month thing, it should be acknowledged in general.
Yeah.
It's terrible that people put it as an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, and there were Native Americans.
Yeah.
Like they aren't still people. Like they aren't still fighting for their rights today.
Yeah.
And that's very important that we acknowledge that still today, just like African Americans are fighting for their rights in America, just like gay people are fighting for their rights, women still fighting for their rights to their own bodies, Native Americans are fighting for their right to live in a place that they never, like, what did they do to not earn the place that they were living in,
Well said. What were you going to say, Shelby?
I was just going to kind of talk, what you said about learning about it in school and stuff. So I was just kind of thinking, like, how can we kind of not necessarily switch the conversation, but change the way it's presented? Because, in elementary school, you're taught that, like he said, the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, they taught each other this, and they taught...
It's really cute, right?
Yeah, they made it really cute and fun. And I understand, and that's how
Put a feather on your hat.
Yeah,
right.
like, I understand, like, that's how most history is taught. But, like, even throughout high school, like, I feel like
College.
Yeah, at least for me in high school, like, I knew, like, you kind of find out, like, okay, it wasn't really like that and how like Native Americans were killed and there was fight, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, how do we how am I trying to say this? Like, how do we change the conversation so that we can make it so that people, like Brian said, acknowledge what happened and still
be able to celebrate.
Yeah,
you know?
because I feel like, at least for me, like I feel like it's kind of like people ignore it, like we don't talk about it, and like the only time, like just even with when I told you guys I saw this on my friend's Facebook page, like I didn't even know that these issues were happening in these areas. Like I think it's like the Standing Rock or whatever they're called. Yeah. Like I didn't even know about that, and like I mean I heard about it a little bit in this class I had in college, but it wasn't fully explained, and they didn't give us that much information about it. And so seeing all this stuff on social media and on the internet and stuff, it's just kind of a shock, because it's kind of like, whoa, like this is still happening. Like, I mean, we all know that Native Americans are still on reservations, and certain parts of like some of their cultures is dying out and stuff like that, but like you wouldn't think that they're still trying to fight for water, because that's really what the problem is. It's the fact, it's the water.
And their graves where their ancestors are buried.
Yeah, like that type of stuff, and it's just kind of shocking, and it's crazy to me, because we live in 2016 and people are still fighting for basic human rights. Like that's so crazy to me.
Time's almost up.
The one thing I was gonna say, even in college, like with history classes, you take American history and they completely ignore what happened to the slaves, and you have to take a whole nother African American history class to learn about what happened to black people in America. Right. There is no class for Native Americans.
Yeah, that's
you
true
know,
too.
think about that. There is no class that you can take to learn, okay, so they killed off all the Native Americans. Yeah. How did they do it? When did they do it?
At least not in our colleges.
Yeah, right. At least not in our colleges.
But I was going to suggest, I mean, time's up, but I just wanted to say real quick, I think a good idea, a good first step would be like changing Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day.
Definitely. No, I agree, definitely.
I think that would be a great first step. But...
I know sorry, real quick.
Oh, no.
I know I was really shocked when I found out that, like, you know how you find out Columbus, whatever his name is, Christopher Columbus, wasn't the big hero that we portray him to be. Like, he was a pirate. He was, you know, horrible. Like, so I just don't understand, like, why it's okay for, and I know it's like tradition and stuff, but why no one has said, hey, like, Columbus isn't this type of guy that we portray him to be, so why don't we change it? You know what I mean?
I'm sure most people wouldn't care as long as they get school and work off. So.
Right. I mean, because that's really it.
Right.
It's all the benefit.
Speaking of benefits, we're going to talk about our sponsor for this week. It's Warby Parker, a good friend of ours.
I need to hit up Warby Parker.
Yeah, you really think you might?
I'm thinking so.
Because if you wanted to, you could use our promo website thing at warbyparkertrial.com/canyounot. And Brian, if you did it, you can select 5 frames for them to send to you in the mail. You can try them on, see what you think, and you find out which ones you like and return them, and that whole process will be completely free.
Dope.
And I think you should do it.
I'm doing it.
Especially since you've been trying to get some
I like
glasses.
those ones right there that I can't see because
I'm
blind.
Nice.
They specialize in a lot of semi-retro kind of looks too, which is always
I'm pretty retro.
I think. The glasses Niku had.
Look at this girl trying on glasses. That could be you.
I thought Joe was gonna pull a Donald Trump. Look at my African American. Aren't you the greatest?
Oh my god. But But yeah, they also even have sunglasses too, if you guys are into that kind of stuff. And you know,
if you guys are into that kind of sunglasses, if you're into that kind of
well,
stuff,
hey, I don't know. Some people are some freaky
like it's
stuff,
a
like
kinky thing. Well, if you're into that kind of thing, I've got something for you. A Warby Parker.
Hey, I don't know what people are into anymore. I mean, we've gone over some pretty weird kinks on this podcast before, so
This is true.
you never know. So if you guys want to give it a shot, actually, Brian, if you did give it a shot, we should post you trying on the different frames
do it.
on our Can You Not
I'm
Facebook
gonna do it.
and see what people think is the best one.
Yeah, you guys tell me what glasses you like.
That'd be kind of fun, actually. We should do that.
Yeah, give me a week or two.
WarbyParkerTrial.com/CanYouNot.
Tell me if I'm looking real retro.
Let us know if our African American here looks good in glasses.
Look at my African American. That was the funniest thing Donald Trump's ever said. Aren't you the greatest?
I bet that warmed everybody up to him. That's totally what did it.
That's why he won.
Yeah, that's why he won 9% of the black vote.
What you don't know is he was talking to Barack Obama when he said it.
He did say he loves Barack Obama. He's such a nice... Despite, I don't know, the last 20 years, or not 20 years, I'm sorry. It's an exaggeration.
Him.
The last 5 years bashing him constantly and calling him the worst thing that America's ever done, but... whatever, flip on a dime. It doesn't matter. Alright, enough about Trump. We need to stop talking about Trump all the time because it's going to give me an aneurysm. I was wondering what you guys think is the most underrated holiday. Because I think the most underrated holiday is one that is coming up, and that's New Year's Eve. And some people are like, oh, New Year's Eve, I have to make resolutions, whatever. Like, oh, another year older. You know, I don't know. I really like New Year's Eve. I think New Year's Eve is such a fun, magical time because it's this big transition point, and I love I love transition points in life. I love that like turning of the page. I love that excitement of like, let's see what happens. Maybe it's a little dampened by the recent events in this particular case, but I would say most years I think it's fun. You know, even people who don't normally stay up late will often stay up late until midnight, and that's kind of fun. You know, it's always good to have some champagne or a drink. Any excuse to drink is always fun. I always just like the idea that like, here's a new point that I can use when it comes to like the things I create. You know, I love looking back upon the stuff that happened over the past. I mean, again, maybe not so much this year, but most years I like looking back upon the things that happened and going through and making little like montage of the videos I made this past year. Just like closing the book and getting ready for the next one, just moving on. I just love New Year's Eve. I think it's very underrated. What about you both? Well, first of all, what do you think of New Year's Eve, and then what do you think is the underrated holiday?
New Year's Eve. I love New Year's Eve.
I like
so
New Year's
much.
Eve too. I
But
enjoy it.
You know what's crazy? Despite the conversation that we just had,
Okay.
my two most underrated holidays are Thanksgiving and July 4th. Like, to be 100% honest, like, Thanksgiving is like the J. Cole of all holidays. Like, the food.
Christmas is the J. No,
because it's not underrated.
You're right.
I mean, Thanksgiving has been rumored to have a long time album coming with Kendrick Lamar, so I see your comparison.
Hey, the Black Friday mixes were a thing last year.
We still didn't get the album.
But hey, Thanksgiving and Kendrick next year.
Right.
I don't really think Thanksgiving's underrated.
I don't know. July 4th is always lit for me, even though I'm not really big on July 4th, like what it's celebrating. Mm-hmm. Not saying I'm anti-American. Love America.
Yeah, you're just anti-Semitic and anti...
Oh my God.
Oh!
But you're not anti-America. No. Brian is not anti-Semitic.
I really like New Year's Eve. I really do. I like it a lot. I think, in reference to what you were saying, well, I'm not big on 4th of July either. At least what it represents.
It was lit though. It's always lit.
Like
yeah, it's always really fun. It is always
fireworks
really
were
fun.
literally lit.
Literally in the sky.
On fire.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Boom.
literally lit. But I don't think Thanksgiving's underrated.
I think so. Think about how Black Friday is taking over Thanksgiving. We got Black Friday on Thursday. Doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, but
all the sales were
that.
starting at like 5 o'clock.
But I feel like they've been doing that for a
I was
long
on plate
time.
number 8 at 5 o'clock.
Like, I definitely remember they've been doing that, like, starting Black Friday early.
I know, but why?
Well, the thing
It's
is,
because it's underrated. Thanksgiving is so
But
underrated,
I don't think
man.
Thanksgiving's underrated.
Y'all
I
can't
think-
cook. That's why that's why y'all don't like Thanksgiving. Y'all can't throw down.
talking about?
All them people to be out there at 5 o'clock.
Oh, I thought
They
you were talking
can't
about
cook.
me. I was
Your
about to
family
say,
can't
we don't have to talk.
Come to my house.
We gonna talk about I
Next
can't cook.
year. No, not
Well,
you.
that's
I know
okay,
you can cook.
'cause I ain't gonna
But
make
next
no more
year,
food.
next year, come to Brian's house on Thanksgiving. Skip the line. I'm telling you right now, the sale is not where I made the yams this year. Y'all missed out on
his
my
mom
yams.
makes some good dressing.
Y'all
I'm not
missed out
even
on my
playing.
mama dressing.
His mom
You know what I'm
makes
saying?
some good
You missed
dressing.
out on.
Oh,
You missed out. Ooh, I threw. Ooh,
Ooh, and that fried
Oh.
turkey that y'all had. and
fried
that
turkey.
cake. And I didn't even go
All
to your
y'all-
house to eat.
All
man.
y'all out there standing in them lines. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all could have been
Look,
on plate
I
number
don't
8
think-
like me.
Like I said,
My belly
before,
full.
I don't think
You out there
Thanksgiving
hungry
is
and broke.
underrated. I think Black Friday is just
Overrated?
overrated.
I spent about 2. Never mind.
I mean,
I
there's-
think I spend a nice amount of money on Friday too.
Yeah.
But I still feel like Black Friday is just overrated. I think people put too much I can't think of the word, but they just everybody's just too excited to buy stuff.
well, it hasn't been as it's slowly simmering down. I think Black Fridays are because they report much less incidents of people actually getting hurt, and most people are transitioning to just doing it online now. So,
Yeah, Cyber Monday.
Yeah, and now the Cyber Monday things usually
See, but
extend
that's fine.
and start
'Cause
on
look,
Black Friday.
Cyber
So,
Monday, it's like 3 days later. That way, my stomach, I got time to rest. You know what I'm saying? I don't
You
even
know,
got to
this
get out of
turkey
bed.
leftovers.
I can order clothes
And
on my
we're
phone.
becoming
Yeah.
more
In
and
your
more
underwear.
lazy.
In my underwear.
Yeah, you might order underwear in your underwear.
I probably will. Give me 2 days.
I know that I went over Bryce's house this year for Independence Day, and for her family, I know at least Independence Day is like their family reunion, Christmas, like Thanksgiving rolled into one. Like her family doesn't do anything on Thanksgiving, but 4th of July, that's when all the family comes out. That's when it's like the biggest holiday of the year.
I know a lot of people that are like that, and for me, it wasn't really that. Like my family always grills out. Like my mom throws down the beach, and then we go to Menor fireworks or anything, a party, something. It was always fun. It's always been fun.
For me, it's my mom and my grandma would throw down on Thanksgiving. They would throw down on Christmas. And then the 4th of July was kind of like, okay,
Until
we
you
can
met
grill
me.
it a little bit. And then we're just going to all eat in the house and watch TV and hang out. It was kind of like, it wasn't like that big of a deal. And then like we may go see some fireworks, we may not. Like it wasn't that big of a deal. But Thanksgiving and Christmas, those were our holidays.
But
Because
July 4th with
food.
Brian.
Food, yes.
Because we're the foodies.
Well, did you ever say? Do you think there is underrated holiday, Shelby?
What's the J. Cole of holidays? What's the
Valentine's Day?
what's the
St.
Childish
Patrick's
Gambino of holidays?
I think Childish Gambino transcends any holiday.
I think he does transcend
He needs
all
a holiday
holidays.
too.
Yeah.
We're adopting you to Cleveland, Gambino, and you can be a part of
we
Cleveland.
should. I
Forget Atlanta. We'll change your
yeah,
show.
so the
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
We'll change your show's name.
I mean, everything that's going on in the show definitely can happen up here.
It probably has.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in the show if you need help.
Me and Joe.
Shelby has experience as a dog walker in one of my movies.
I was a student.
And if you put me and Joe behind the camera.
And I live in Cleveland.
Now you're a Cleveland icon.
I live in Cleveland. I know Cleveland. You know, I'm here for it.
LeBron James could executive produce.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Got a hit show.
Underrated holiday. I kind of think Sweetest Day is.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't think about that.
And the reason why I think it is because majority of the time, at least for, I know a lot of people don't even know when it is.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot when it was.
I think it's October 16th.
It's October something.
Yeah. And I feel like that's supposed to be the Valentine's Day for men.
Yeah, that's what I was always told.
And a lot of the times I feel like a lot of things in terms of like commercial and consumer wise, I feel like it's always surrounded by women. Like in terms of catering to women.
What are you getting your wife?
And I feel like women should do the same for men on Sweetest Day because I don't know, like
I picked a
we
winner,
should
guys.
appreciate.
I guess I never thought of there being so much of a gender difference for it. I just kind of
And I repeat, I picked a winner.
Oh my god.
Aww. You're talking about me, right?
Yes, of course, Jeff.
A winner as a creative partner.
No, but yeah, I really think Sweetest Day is underrated.
Alright. Yeah, you wanted to say Administrative Professionals Day, so I appreciate your restraint. Well, friends, we've come to the end of another episode.
What
did we learn today?
I feel like this one went by really fast.
It did go by fast. What did we learn?
I learned that Joe wants to name Monday cookies.
I do.
And that Brian really enjoys Mall Guy.
Mall Guy is pretty awesome. Especially after reading that article, I suggest everybody look it up. Mall Guy. It's by a Cleveland scene.
I can put it in the description.
Okay. I'll send
in the
it
show
to you.
notes.
Yeah.
I learned that Childish Gambino and Super Pimp should have one holiday together.
And what did I learn?
I also learned that Kendrick Lamar and Thanksgiving are
identical.
Yeah.
I learned. I think I reinforced a lot of things in my mind about Thanksgiving and July 4th. A lot of ideas that I already had.
Nice. That's going to go into our new TV show about Cleveland starring Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
And me.
And Shelby as the dog walker / student.
Shelby.
Shelby as herself. If you want to check out more episodes, you can listen to us at SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/C.Y.N podcast. We're on the Facebook. We're on the Twitters. We're on many of your favorite podcasting apps if you look us up. And we're also on iTunes.
And the SoundCloud.
I
love SoundCloud.
I did just say SoundCloud.
Oh, you did say
that?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah, we're on SoundCloud too. And if you give us a rating on iTunes, we'll read your rating on the air. How cool is that? Then you can be famous and immortal. Immortal. How does that sound?
Immortality.
I mean, Lord Voldemort had to split his soul into 7 to become immortal, and that didn't even work out. But you can just submit a rating on iTunes. How easy is that? That's all you gotta do.
Click the stars.
And we are also, if you want to email any topic suggestions or feedback or anything like that, you can go to canyonotpodcast@gmail.com.
I want to know some more Cleveland icons to look up.
That'd be great. I would love to know more. Especially if you're from the Cleveland area. Maybe you're an icon. Maybe you're a firework.
Or icons from other cities.
Yeah.
Baby,
did he say
firework?
What the heck? Why did I miss that? What?
Hey man, 4th of July.
4th of July. Can you not?
Can you not?